Craig, Jamie was talking about McDavid in Edmonton, and he thinks he's already got his mind made up as far as what's going to go down. Do you buy into that theory? And do you think Stan Bowman understands that theory or knows the theory?
Yeah, that's a good question about that. About does he know the theory? I hadn't thought about it that way. Listening to Stan say, I take him at his word that he wants to win in Edmonton. Yeah, I believe that players want to win wherever they're at. But I think last year at the end of the year when Connor McDavid made a statement that I don't want to. I want to know that I have a chance to win again and again and again. And I think that's where he's looking at it and going, am I better off waiting or should I commit? And, one thing that a manager can do or an ownership, oh, no, we're committed. Well, they're just words. Like, why wouldn't Connor McDavid, in my view, and I'm a proponent of, I'd love to see McDavid, Kaprizov, Eichel all hit the free agent market because I think it would open up the whole market and open up the whole NHL in a significant way. Now, that being said, if I'm Connor McDavid and I know what I want to do, so my mind's made up in terms of winning, why wouldn't I wait? Why wouldn't I wait? Why wouldn't I wait to see if your actions can match your words?
Yep, I agree. I think you that's where I was going with the comment, Craig, and it was actually Hayes that said he's had his mind made up. I said he's still waiting on, what he needs to see from Edmonton and moving forward. But
yeah.
The comment stuck out for me, Craig, and he's been pretty consistent on it, is the opportunity to win year in, year out. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that is stood
big
out
ass
for
though
me.
Too, Jamie. Like big year right. In, and not everybody is Florida year in, year out. Like
you're right. I think, but he's in a situation where they have been close, and that's the thing. Can they be close for many years, or is this a window where you've got 3 or 4 kicks at it and then you have to move on? That's the biggest challenge. So I think time is on his side, and he does want to win in Edmonton, but if he wins this year in Edmonton, I think all bets are off. So he's given himself a window to and not forcing it. That's my opinion. I have no insight on that from anybody in his camp or anybody in Edmonton's camp.
Yeah, nor do I, Jamie. And again, you watch it. I mean, he's wired to win. Right? You've heard me say this previously. Like the Edmonton Oilers have been in the Stanley Cup final the last 2 seasons. We know how great McDavid and Draisaitl are, and we all say it. I think they're greater than I've even given them credit for, because they've dragged that team deeper than I thought they're capable of going, just because of those 2 guys. And then inevitably what ends up happening, and this is where Connor's experience, I think right now, is really playing in to his thinking, is he knows where they're short. He knows as a player where they're short. I mean, you look at last year, they just felt, they were never winning a game at the end of regulation in the 6 games versus Florida. LA had them on the ropes and let them off the ropes. I think that Connor knows very well what he feels they need to do to become a Stanley Cup winning team.
But how does he start his checklist, Craig? Like when does he start saying, okay, that's what I wanted, that's better than, because he obviously doesn't have it yet, or he would have signed.
I agree with you, Jeff, and that's exactly it. So why don't we go back to last summer? And I think that's where the mistake happened. Broberg, Holloway, Fogle, Ryan McLeod, they had the depth, they had the weight, they had the size, they had what you needed to do to push. They went all the way to Game 7, despite falling behind 3-0. And I think that Connor saw it, and I think that Connor is going, we don't have that anymore, and I don't think they do either. And that's why I give 29 and 97 such high accolades of being how great they are to get the team as far as they can get them.
Yeah, and that does seem to be a pretty consistent conversation or debate. Have the Oilers done enough for him in 10 years? Yet, I agree with your assessment. The 2 of them are so great. They've kind of dragged them there, but they have gotten to 2 Cup finals. Game 6 and Game 7. Like, if you're the owner, forget the GM, the president. Those guys have come and gone over the decade. Cates
throw
has
that
been there.
back at his face.
Yeah,
safe.
Cates has been there since day one. He's probably like, hey, you got Game 7 and Game 6. I mean, it's not like we're a lottery team every single year.
No, you're not. But when you're like, Connor's got a single-minded focus. I mean, so he's won the 4 nations. Whatever you want to put weight into that. His next goal is the Olympic gold medal. And then the Stanley Cup is the ultimate for Connor McDavid. I think what's fascinating, and fascinating might not be the right word, but interesting, is Connor McDavid is looking at this. He knows he's a top player. He knows he knows how great he is too. But he knows that there will be a little bit of tarnish on his greatness without a Stanley Cup. It's just the way it goes.
Yep.
And he doesn't want tarnish on his reputation.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
He's a hockey historian like everyone else that loves the game, that's played the game. He knows he's got to get one, and he's been right there. That's what's probably so frustrating is they've been in back-to-back Cup finals, and he's not going to pull a Durant and go to Florida. I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't think he's just going to walk over there for a 1 or 2 year deal and try to pull off a cup or two and then take his talent somewhere else. So it's a big decision.